Hey guys, I just wanted to go over how to use proof. We did this quite a few times in the classroom, and I've had some questions on how to do it, so I figured I would create this video to help you out. So the first thing I would tell my students, usually when we would sit down in a small group to do this, is that every good reader reads with a pencil, and I have a pen. So I would have my passage or whatever I'm reading in front of me. I would have my I don't have an extra proof sheet, but I have a notebook, which is fine too. Or sometimes if you're using a book, we've used these in the classroom too. Sticky notes, you can stick a sticky note inside a page, or when you have a passage like this, I've always asked my students to just annotate or take notes right on the paper. Now, annotate, I've always told our students that it's just their version of a note. It could be a picture, it could be a smiley face, anything little like that that will jar their attention back to information that they learned. So if we start off with P in proof, it's preview the text. So previewing the text is just looking through it. One of the things you're going to notice is any pictures. These are also text features. You could in previewing, you would read the captions for any pictures. You would actually read the title. One of the first things on preview is you circle the title and then read it. The Amazing Journey of Egg to Baby Chick. Then I'm going to think about why the author wrote this, and this goes into draw, predict, and determine pi. So students will draw a circle and pi, and P-I-E in the circle. Pi stands for, the P is persuade. An author is trying to persuade you to do something. So are they trying to persuade you to bake a pie, or jump off a bridge, or clean your room, do the dishes, kind of thing. I in pi is to inform. Is this going to give us some information? E is entertain. Entertain is more than just making someone laugh. It actually is emotions. Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad? So right off, when I'm looking at the title and I'm looking at the pictures and I see how the text is broken up, the author wrote this to give us information, and to give us information from egg to a baby chick. So this is a passage you guys saw already, so it shouldn't be too new. The other part of P in proof is determining if it's fiction or nonfiction. So I should always see an F or an NF at the top of the page. Fiction, is fake or make-believe, something that's written, that's made up, a story that's made up in your head. Nonfiction is something that are things that are true, and nonfiction will typically almost always go with information. So that's really it on the P. Actually, the one more thing that on number 4 for proof on the P is to list text features. Text features are things like your title, so on the P square, I would write the word title. I would write that there are pictures. Some pictures in text have captions. These do not, so I wouldn't write captions. Sometimes in books you'll see a glossary, bold words, you'll see keys on maps and things like that. Here I don't actually see any bold words, but I do see an underlined word, so that would be something I would list, an underlined word. Usually if it's underlined, it will go back to a vocabulary word maybe we've looked at. So that is all I see for proof. You could notice that the paragraphs are numbered, and we've talked about that in class, so I would say numbered paragraphs. So those are text features. Also on the document that I'm including the video, you'll see 2 different PowerPoints that will go through what text features are and what they look like, where you find them, and things like that. And let me know if you have any questions on that. So the next part of proof is the R, and it's read the text. So this is where you would start reading the text. Not in the box on the proof sheet, nothing needs to really go there unless something sticks out to you. So I don't really want to read this whole sheet to you guys because you guys can read. And I would look, so for example, I would read through paragraph 1. Did you ever wonder how some eggs end up on your breakfast plate and others end up as chickens? So they're starting you off with a question. I might circle the question mark. I know we're going from eggs to chickens. Every chicken came from an egg. However, not every egg contains a chicken. An egg will only become a chicken if it's been fertilized by a cell from a rooster. If a rooster is around, it will perform a special dance. If a hen accepts his dance, the two birds will mate and then the hen will lay fertilized eggs. Each fertilized egg will grow a baby chick inside. If no roosters around, the eggs will never hatch into baby chicks. Instead, these are the eggs you buy in a supermarket or farmer's market. People use these eggs to make omelets, cookies, and other foods. No matter how warm you keep them or how well you care for them, these eggs cannot produce chicks. The reason I underlined these 3 words is because it was telling me something that's happening with the unfertilized eggs. So I might go back up and, or something, write something over here like unfert. That's just my take on it. You could have drawn a picture over here, like a sad face, like for meaning unfertilized eggs. Whatever brings your attention back to that area. So like when you get to your questions, it draws you back to your your attention there. The O is outlined with notes chunk of the text. So like this text has already been done for you. They numbered the paragraphs. I'm outlining anything that sticks out to you, writing your notes, your annotations. Write a sentence about what is happening, your main idea, your setting, etc. On a passage, you don't really have to write a sentence. On your proof sheet, you could, for the first O, I would say something like how to identify eggs that will produce a chick. You could also say something like eggs that don't produce chicks. So for that sentence will give me an idea that will lead me back to what I underlined. The eggs that don't produce chicks can be used for omelets, cookies, and foods. So, okay, the second O, organize your thoughts. What is being asked? Look at the questions after you read, and then look through your notes. So the next part would be looking at your questions on the passage. Read through all your questions first, and go back, look through your notes on the passage. Finding your evidence. So you're looking back through the text and choosing the best answer that works, that answers that question. And it says / the trash, meaning if you have a multiple choice type of question where you have A, B, C, D, usually right away, this is something I talk to my students, you can cross off 2 of them almost right away. Then there's 2 that you have to decide from. And then now that you have your notes on here and on your proof sheet, it'll be easier to find your answer. So on your passage, you can go over and you can actually put number 1 next to where you found the answer for the question number 1. This is to help students to not actually have to use the proof sheet later on. It's just a good habit to get into as you're reading. And if you have any other questions, please just let me know. Thanks.